Yeah.
especially if you play bass as well. Do you really want to play what Paul DeLong was talking about that
Yeah.
story with Peter Erskine last week, saying, now if you were to play bass to what you played, or
Yeah.
that's very interesting. How long have you been tracking at home?
It's been a long time. I got my first Pro Tool rig probably about 8 years ago.
Oh,
Yeah, it's been going on a long time. A process of learning and slowly building up gear. I've been working with Warm Audio a little bit. I got some preamps from them. I love that there's some affordable stuff out there that just get. I'm all
yeah,
about affordable. Like I'll spend the money, but there's some great stuff. If I can do it cheap and cheaper and get
yeah,
results,
yeah.
and that's the whole idea. Some of these companies and um, the one thing I love again about Gretsch is they offer options with the 30-degree bearing edge that give you the results that get you in that world and that feel of the drum set at a much, much cheaper price to start.
Right. I know some Gretsch purists, they poo-poo the offshore, the Chinese drums and all this. And I tell you, though, when I had another renowned kit before these, and I've had some front of house guys say, and it was a 14 by 11 or 14 by 12. I'm like, I really want to get a bigger floor tom. He goes, don't.
Yeah,
He don't. He goes, you don't really. He goes, these drums sound great.
yeah.
And they really did. I was thinking, was it because they were, I think, used. I think I might have paid $1,000 for them
Hmm.
with the snare. Anyway,
Yeah, the 14's an interesting floor tom. A lot of people, like I was anti 14 for years. I just, they're small. But tonally, if you listen to so many albums, you got to really listen to recordings. You hear those 14s, they come out in the mix much better than a 16. There's a tonal note there. They sit in the music. Definitely nothing to be afraid of a 14, that's for sure.
they're not gonna be buried necessarily like
No,
a 16 or definitely an 18 a lot of times, or even live with an 8.
exactly.
You know,
Yeah.
um, that is amazing. Oh, and I wanted to ask you, Gretsch snare drum wise, I know you play. Is it how do you say the name Bayer?
Buyer snares, yeah.
Bayer snares, and I know you play those, and that's one of your favorite drums.
Yeah.
And that's a steel drum, I believe, a 15. You have a few of those, correct?
Yeah, I have a 15 by 7.5. I have a 14 by 6.5 and a 4 by 15.
Wow.
Yeah, I've got three of them, and something about them is just magical.
Hmm.
They're wonderful drums. James Bayer, the guy who makes them, is such a great human. He really stands by his product, and he is again. Luckily, in Canada, we have David McAllister and some wonderful people, Andy DeCoulis, that deal with us in
Yep.
Gretsch, but they all have that similar feel to me with their artists and with the people they work with. And to me, the gear is important, but those relationships, when I need something or they need something, we can reciprocate it easily. All great people. And yeah, James makes wonderful drums, and I'm proud to play them as well.
And what Gretsch snares do you have, and do you play?
I have the aluminum 14 by 5. I have a 14 by 8 broadcaster, and currently I have the little ash. It's a little 12 by
Yeah.
8, I believe. I'm terrible with sizes, but and my next snare will be a 14 by 6.5 chrome over brass. That's going to be my next purchase, my Gretsch.
A USA custom.
Yeah, yeah. That drum. You just bought one recently, didn't you?
I have the bronze, a 6.5 by 14 bronze USA custom.
Yeah, and
And that drum is just, I use it for outdoor shows.
okay,
It's got a lot in the tank.
yeah.
But I tend to use my 5 by 14 chrome over brass Brooklyn drum.
Oh, okay.
And that thing is just, it's amazing. I didn't want to own anything. I had Slingerland chrome over brass, and I've had some Ludwigs, and I sold those because I thought, you know what, I'm pretty sure there's going to be enough in the Gretsch line that I'm going to be very happy. And this drum for me is so
Yeah.
it kind of replaces the Superphonic or the Slingerland 5 by 14. So it's a great drum. Love it. And I've got an old 90, 91, 92 USA Custom 6.5 by 14 in
Okay.
the walnut finish that my mom got me
Oh,
along with the
wow.
whole drum kit. So love that.
Wow.
So, but that's wow. Yeah, we certainly do love our Gretsch drums, and I'm grateful that you came on here. And I do want to thank David McAllister and Andy DeCoulis and Fred and Dinah Gretsch and Lucas O'Connor, who's amazing, who's family of the Gretsch family, and he will be one of my guests in the coming weeks.
Excellent.
Yeah, it'll be really neat. He's a fabulous guy. And I want to thank you for coming on today and thanks for last minute. I'm like, I can't figure this Facebook out.
Yeah,
Sorry.
I couldn't either. Sorry, I wish I was more helpful.
I'm looking online going, so these instructions, they're not helping. So, but thank you. And where can people find you online?
I do have Facebook. Just search my name, Chad Melchert. Uh, I'm on Twitter. I tend to, that's more of my opinion-based stuff. So if you don't
Oh,
like my opinions, maybe stay away from my Twitter.
sure.
Instagram. I use Facebook a lot, though. It's the one that tends to paint the widest swath for me.
Yeah.
People of all, my family, friends, and then industry people tend to follow most on Facebook. But I do love Instagram.
Hmm.
That's the main two. I don't have a website. I find it's so community based that so many people can just reach me on Facebook. I've had people from all over the world, request session work and stuff like that. So Facebook is probably the best place to keep up with me, though.
And do you have time to do sessions? I imagine with this COVID-19, are you doing much in that way of work?
Yeah, it's been interesting because I get a lot of requests for recording, but also, Instagram and a lot of the social media platforms. I'm doing a lot of video stuff for that. So tracking and recording yourself playing live and getting one good take of you playing the song and recording it into your Pro Tools rig so it doesn't sound terrible.
Yeah,
So I'm
like
getting a lot of that. People just want to stay, in the public eye. There's a certain insatiable appetite we all have to be seen, or we wouldn't probably be in the music industry. So, yeah, no, it's true. It's who doesn't want to be seen and doing what they love first off, but being able to stay relevant in the industry. So we're all kind of fighting a little bit for those spaces, and that's pretty much what I've been busy though. A lot of recording, and I sanded down my deck the other day, so I was quite proud of myself. I
yeah,
handled the deck here.
nice. You had some warm weather. You were in the 20s out there, weren't you?
Yeah, it was warm for about 3 days, and now we're a little bit cooled down. But yeah, just doing practicing and recording and
That's
kind of hanging out with family. That's what I'm trying to do.
It's been a really nice time for that. I'm itching to get out and play though, and miss playing,
Oh yeah.
and miss being on the road, and miss being in theaters, and just kind of miss the camaraderie of the musicians. Though
hmm
love being home. I did forget to ask you. Do you use the Nashville number system?
When people put a chart in front of me, yeah, I read them all the time. I find I love it because it creates, when I'm in my brain and I'm recording, I'm building the parts as I go. I'm trying to think as I play as a song listener. So when I'm
Mm,
staring at numbers, that change can mean, a cymbal hit. It could mean laying low. Like it's such a simplistic thing when you're staring at it that you're not overthinking. And I think overthinking when you're drumming is your biggest curse.
agreed.
Yeah,
Agreed.
and form is there for you. You'll know where there's a shot because it's there. But it does leave absolute freedom to just create and create that relationship with the people you're making the music with. I love it. It's my
I
favorite.
Kenny Post was probably one of the first guys to give me Nashville number charts, and it was amazing. And Jim Riley explaining in his great book that he has, and I agree, it gives you a nice bird's eye view of the entire song rather
Yeah.
than busy reading lines and fills and stuff like that. It's less musical, I find, to read just that part. But the Nashville is great. I need to get better at that. So
It's easy. You don't need to know what a one or four or five. You just need to over time. You know what
seriously,
it is,
yeah,
but you just need to know that the note is changing so you can react.
yeah,
Especially from a low end thing, you learn to build your bass drum parts so that they reinforce things for the vocalist. Everything about playing music to me is about the vocal and what that interplay you can have as a drummer with them. And then staying out of their way when they're saying something. That's the biggest one is like, yeah, fills are cool, but if you're rhythmically challenging against that, what the vocal's trying to do, you're
yeah.
not going to be getting hired very often.
Yeah, yeah, that's awesome. Great
Yeah.
advice. Thanks again so much for being here, and really nice to virtually meet you in person
Yeah,
and actually
finally.
hear what you sounded like. You were gracious enough to send me email of some tracks you did a couple of years ago, so I
Yeah.
could hear some things that you did, and you're and it's no wonder that you're as successful as you are, and I wish you continued success. And my pleasure. So next week we have another great Gretsch artist. I will reveal early next week. It's a fellow that you're gonna know. I hope, anyways. And he's a really terrific drummer and a terrific guy. So thanks so much. I'm gonna see if I can screen record this, and if that's possible, get a copy to you. Otherwise, it's lost forever. But thanks again for your time, Chad, and
Thank you.
you take care and stay safe and healthy, and we will see you soon.
Sounds good. Continued success to you as well. Keep going. You're doing
Appreciate it.
awesome.
Thanks, man. We'll
Okay,
see you.
take care.
Bye, everybody.
Bye.